Thoreau. Never work just for money. Let's see how we live. Our world is things to do. What a never-ending hustle and bustle it is. Almost every night I'm awakened by the whistle of a locomotive. It disturbs my dreams, all week long, without a break. It would be nice to see mankind rest for once. But no, it works, it works, it works. You can't buy a blank notebook to write your thoughts there. It's either a notebook with lots of margins or notebooks to keep records. One man saw me writing something in a notebook while standing in a field. He thought I was counting my earnings. If a man was thrown out of a window as a baby and he was maimed for life, or for some reason he turned into a feeble-minded person, the reason he's beat it the most is because now he's unable to do business. I don't think there's anything more alien to life itself than these endless works. On the outskirts of our town, there is a rude and loud man who likes to make money. He's going to build a mound on the edge of his meadow. Gods have him that idea, to keep him safe from trouble and evil in the form of floods, so he wants me to dig with him for 3 weeks. As a result, perhaps, that will help him save more money for his heirs, who will squander it thoughtlessly. If I help him, most people will speak approvingly of me, as of a diligent and hard-working man. But if I choose to devote myself to work, which will give more genuine benefit, though less money, they will tend to see me as a lazy man. If you walk in the woods for hours every day just because you love the woods, they might think you're a slacker. But if you spend the whole day trading in a stock market, selling that forest and stripping the land early, you're seen as a hard-working and enterprising citizen. As if the city needs only one thing from the forest, to cut it down. Almost all of the ways to make a living lead downwards, making money for more money. That's not work, it's just idleness, or even worse. And if a man gets only what his employer pays him, he may consider himself cheated. He cheats himself. You are paid for being less than a person. The purpose of an employee should be not the pursuit of livelihood or get a decent position, but doing the job well in terms of money. It would be more profitable for the city to pay people so that they don't feel like they're working for a petty purpose, just to earn their living, but for scientific or even moral purposes. Hire a man who does his work not for money, but for the love of it. It's astonishing how few people work for their souls, but even they are ready to give up their occupation for the sake of money and fame. I see an advertisement calling for energetic young people, as if energy is the only capital that they have. So I was surprised when someone suggested to me a mature man, in the fullest confidence that I would agree entering into a partnership with him, as if I had absolutely nothing to do and my whole life before was just a series of failures. The compliment was highly questionable. It's like if he met me in the middle of the ocean with no steering wheel and no rudder and asked me to sail after him. Society has no such wealth that could bribe a wise man with. You can raise enough money to dig a tunnel through a mountain, but you can't raise enough to hire a wise man dedicated to his cause. Foolish men offer their foolishness to the man who pays more, and they always expect to get a position of influence. And then they are always disappointed. If I sell all the morning and afternoon hours to the community, like most people do, then I'll have nothing to live for. There is no greater fool in the world than someone who spends a good part of their life to earn a living. A poet, for example, should support his body with poetry. Just as a sawmill feeds the steam boilers with shavings, one must earn one's living by love. It's surprising that almost nothing significant has been written on how to make a living by love, how to make work for a living not only honorable, but also attractive and glorious. But if work isn't like that, neither is life. Throwing a glance at the literature, one would think that this problem has never even troubled the mind of a lonely thinker. Maybe people are so disgusted with their work that they don't feel like talking about it. The gold rush in California, for example, and the attitude towards it, not only among merchants, but philosophers and so-called prophets, evidence of the greatest disgrace that befell mankind. Imagine how many people are willing to live at the mercy of fortune and get an opportunity to dispose of a labor of these less fortunate without contributing to society's wealth. And this is called enterprise. It's only the world lottery. How is it possible to make a living in the realm of nature through the lottery? Did God tell us to earn our livelihood, digging in places we don't sow, in the hope that perhaps He will reward us with bars of gold? It is one of the most widespread systems of deceit the world has ever seen. I was unaware that mankind suffered from a lack of gold. I've seen little of it in my life, but I know it's very malleable, though not as malleable as a mind. A speck of gold can cover a large surface, but still smaller than a grain of wisdom can. Not long ago, I read of a man who found a nugget in Australia weighing 12 kilograms. What happened next? He soon started drinking a lot. He bought a horse and rode around at full gallop. And while he met people, he used to ask them if they knew who he was. And then he would condescendingly tell them that he was that unfortunate fellow who had that misfortune to find the nugget. Yes, unfortunate, as he is a typical representative of a certain category of lost people, all of whom lead to a dissolute life. He ended up running into a tree at full gallop and blew his brains out, though his brains has been blown off by the nugget. Haven't people realized yet that the pursuit of money has never brought anyone any true happiness? To win millions in the state lottery, to find treasure or large gold deposits, to enter life as an heir to a large fortune, doesn't mean to be born again. It means to be born stillborn. Winning such lotteries is not success, it's a total failure. And time and again we try to bypass that valuable lesson that gives us the money, and which the universe struggles so hard to teach us.